In this video, we are going to be taking a look at the sales order module. Start by clicking on sales, then sales order. In this page, you will be able to see a list of your previous sales order entries and their details. You can also view the total count and amount of the entries in this list at the top right corner over here. Now, to add a new entry, you can click on Add New Item. Once you do so, you'll be brought to the sales order add page where you can fill in the details of your sales order entry. First, start by selecting your branch. After that, you can move on to the customer field. If you would like to create a sales order for an existing customer, you can type in their name or customer code in the field and click on Lookup. However, if you would like to create a new customer entry for your sales order, you can click on the New Customer link. The system will then redirect you to the customer master page where you can create your new customer entry. In my case, I'll use an existing customer, XYZ Sandrian Berhad. So after I've typed in their name, I'll click on Lookup and I'll select their name. As you can see, the system will then autofill the relevant fields with the information I've entered for this customer in the customer module. Moving on, if you would like to associate this sales order with a particular vehicle owned by this customer, you can do so by this vehicle field over here. Just like the customer field, if you would like to select an existing vehicle, you can fill in their vehicle number and click on Lookup. And if you would like to create a new vehicle entry, you can click on the New Vehicle link. The system will then pop out a form for you to fill in the new vehicle's details. After you're done, you can click on Save to save your vehicle entry. In my case, I'll search for an existing vehicle, which is AVC7788. For that, I'll click on Lookup and I'll select the vehicle. As you may have noticed, the system will override the details of the customer with the details of the vehicle once a vehicle has been selected. The details follow what you have entered for this vehicle in the vehicle module. After you've filled in the other fields, you can move on to the next section, which is the item section. At the top of the page, you can see 4 tabs, which are total outstanding, this month outstanding, credit term/credit limit, and total order. The first tab, total outstanding, shows us the total outstanding amount of this customer. If you would like to view it in more detail, you can click on the amount over here, which will then redirect you to the customer outstanding detail page. Additionally, if you would like to view the transaction history of this customer, you can click on History. The system will then bring you to the sales and debit note and credit note detail viewing page. For the other tabs, this one shows you this customer's outstanding amount for this month. This shows you the credit term and credit limit of this customer. And this shows you the total amount in this sales order. Now that we're done with the 4 tabs up here, let's move on to the item information tab. Here is where you will enter in the items that will be in your sales order entry. Just like the customer and vehicle entries, if you would like to search for an existing item, you can type in their name or item code and click on Lookup. And if you would like to create a new item entry, you can click on New Inventory, which will then redirect you to the Stock Master add page. So in my case, I'll search for an existing item which has the code XN2. After that, I'll click on Lookup and I'll select the first one. After that, I'll fill in the details of the item such as the quantity, unit of measurement, unit price, discount, so on and so forth. After I'm done, I'll click on Add. And the item will be added to a list below. If you would like to edit this item entry, you can click on Edit. After you're done making changes, you can click on Update. And if you would like to delete this item entry, you can click on Delete. Now, let's say I'm having a promotion of buy 4 tires and get 1 free. I'll add another tire, fill in 1, and I'll take the FOC, which is the free of charge checkbox. After I click Add, the item will be added to the item list. If you would like to reorder the items in this list, you can turn on Resequence Item over here and drag them around. After you're done, you can turn it off. And your new item order will be saved. So after you've filled in all items, you can then move on to the Shipping Info tab to fill in details such as the shipment type, the ship to target, the delivery date, delivery time, and remarks if any. If you would like to upload files or images regarding this sales order, you can go to the Files and Images tab to do so. Keep in mind that you can only upload PDF and JPG files that do not exceed 2.5 MB. Continuing on down, we can see that the system will automatically calculate the total amount of the sales order for us. The system will also display item discounts, part amounts, and service amounts if any. If you would like to add an online signature to this sales order, you can do so by clicking on this button over here. Once you're done, you can either save your sales order entry or continuing on with the checklist and note section. Do note that clicking on checklist and notes will also cause the system to save your entry. So in my case, I'll continue on with the checklist section. Here you can select your service type and Bay dashboard through a drop-down list. For an option to appear in the drop-down list, you must first create their entry in the service type module and the service checklist Bay module respectively. You can find the former module in CRM and service type, and the latter module in setting, vehicle checklist, and vehicle checklist Bay. Moving back, down here in this list, you will be able to note down the condition of your customer's vehicle, such as green for good, yellow for okay, and red for danger. You can also fill in the price for replacement parts in the price column, their descriptions, and comments if any. Next up, we have the diagnostic answer section. To add a new entry, you can click on new over here and fill in the fields. So for part, we'll select front left. For group, we'll select brake. And for diagnostic question, we'll select a warning light shows. For comments, we can write something like low brake fluid. After we're done, we can click on update and a new entry will be created. If you would like to delete this entry, you can click on delete. Keep in mind that the options for the drop-down list in the part, group, and diagnostic question fields are all added in the vehicle checklist module, which are in the vehicle checklist type, vehicle checklist group, and vehicle checklist question respectively. So moving back, we'll now move on to vehicle photo. If you would like to add a new vehicle photo, you can do so by opening the Webmax app and uploading the photo from there. Finally, if you would like to add a note to the sales order, you can click on add note over here. For example, I'll type in needs further inspection and click on save. If you would like to edit the note entry, you can click on edit, and if you would like to delete it, you can click on delete. So once you're done filling in everything in this form, you can click on save to save your entry. If you would like to print out the sales order, you can also click on print. Or if you would like to print out the quotation or vehicle safety checklist of this sales order, you can click on the arrow to the right and click on the corresponding option. You can also cancel this sales order by clicking on cancel SO. And if you would like to discard your entry, you can click on exit. Besides that, if you would like to WhatsApp your customer regarding the creation of this sales order, you can click on the WhatsApp icon over here. Keep in mind that WhatsApp must be open and logged in your computer in order for this to work properly. In my case, I'll click on save. And as you can see, my entry has been saved into the system. So that's it for adding a new entry. Now, what if you would like to edit the details of a particular sales order? Maybe you mistyped something or would like to update some details. Well, you can find the order number of the sales order in this list and click on it. Once you do so, you'll be brought to the sales order edit page where you can make your changes. After you're done, you can click on save and your changes will be made. Moving on to the action column. Here you can do 5 things to the selected sales order entry. Either create an invoice, create a cash sales, printing the checklist, copying the entry, or printing the entry. Clicking on creating invoice and creating cash will convert the sales order into a sales invoice and cash sales respectively. As you can see here, after I clicked on create invoice, I will be brought to the invoice sales add page. And after I click on save, the sales order just now will be converted into a sales invoice. And if I go back to the sales order module, the sales order will disappear from the list. The same happens with create cash, but the sales order will be converted into a cash sales document instead of an invoice. Next up, we have print checklist. Clicking on print checklist will allow you to print the checklist that is associated with that particular sales order. Keep in mind that you have to have filled in the checklist in order for this option to become available. So going back, we have copy. Clicking on copy will cause the system to duplicate the sales order you selected. This is particularly useful if you want to create multiple sales orders for the same customer or with the same items. For now, I'll click on exit since I don't plan on adding any new entries. And last but not least, we have the print action. Clicking on print will cause the system to bring you to the printing page where you can then print out the sales order you selected. Going back, if you would like to print out multiple sales orders at once, you can utilize the checkboxes over by the left of the list. After you've selected your sales orders, you can click on print sales order up here to batch print them. as you can see here. Going back. Now, as you may have noticed, some entries have blue and yellow boxes while some don't. Well, this is because these colored boxes represent two things. Blue boxes means that there is a discounted item in the sales order, while yellow boxes mean that there is an item that is free of charge in the sales order. So if I go into the edit page of this sales order here, you can see that there is both a discounted item and a free of charge item in the item list. So if I change them back to normal prices, and click on save, you can see that the boxes have disappeared. Carrying on, if you would like to search for a particular sales order in this list, instead of searching for them one by one, you can utilize the search bar up here. In this search bar, you can fill in the details of the sales order that you would like to search, such as their order number, customer, PO number, date ranges, so on and so forth. So let's say I want to search for sales orders that were made in 2024. I'll go to the date field over here and I'll fill in the date ranges. In the first box, I'll fill in 2024, January 1st, and in the second box, I'll fill in 2024, December 31st. After that, I'll click on search, and as you can see, the system will only return to me sales order entries that were made in 2024. Other than using the search bar, if you would like to filter the entries based on column values, you can click on the funnel icon over here. Let's say I select these three and I click on OK. The system will then filter out the entries based on my selection. Additionally, if you would like to sort the entries by ascending or descending order based on column values, you can click on the corresponding column header like so. Finally, if you would like to customize the way that this list looks, you can turn on personalized column up here at the search bar. After you do so, you will have the ability to show or hide certain columns by clicking on these switches. You can also rearrange their order by dragging them around. After you're done, you can scroll down and click on Update. As you can see, the system will update the list according to my personalization. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching.